When you hear the Dark Ages, what comes to mind? Cold, drafty castles? Shadowy monasteries with murmuring monks? What if I told you that the truth is far darker, creepier, and downright bizarre than you could imagine? Brace yourself, because we're diving into 11 spine-chilling practices that were not just normal. They defined medieval England. Segment 1. Defleshing the Dead. Imagine this. A king dies far from home. His final wish? To be buried in his beloved homeland. But how do you transport a decaying corpse across medieval England? Boil the body. Yes, you heard that right. Medieval undertakers would dismember the deceased, boil the flesh from their bones, and transport only the sanitized skeleton. It was a gruesome, practical solution to a problem you hope never to encounter. Segment 2. Death as an art form. In the Middle Ages, death wasn't feared. It was embraced. People displayed their mortality proudly. The trend of transit tombs saw nobles commissioning statues of themselves as decaying, worm-eaten corpses. These grim effigies weren't just morbid. They were a public reminder of life's fleeting nature. Segment 3. Execution. The medieval blockbuster. Public executions were the entertainment of the day. And the methods? Horrific. To be hung, drawn, and quartered meant being dragged by a horse, hanged until near death, disemboweled while still alive, and then, well, you know the rest. If you thought medieval England was all knights and chivalry, think again. Segment 4. Animal trials. Yes, animals were dragged into court, literally. A pig accused of murder, sentenced to death, a donkey assaulted by a human, given a full trial and declared virtuous. It sounds absurd, but these proceedings were deadly serious, with animals often seen as pawns in a battle between good and evil. Segment 5. Nursery rhymes of doom. Remember singing Ring Around the Rosies as a child? Turns out it might have been inspired by the Black Death. A pocket full of posies wasn't whimsical. It was a desperate attempt to mask the stench of death. And London Bridge is falling down. Some say it's about Viking attacks. Or worse, child sacrifice. Sleep tight. Segment 6. Medical nightmares. Medieval medicine was a mix of innovation and horror. Take trepanning, for example, the practice of drilling a hole in the skull to release demons, or headaches. Shockingly, many patients survived, and if you needed a tooth pulled, forget dentists. The local blacksmith would do the job. Talk about multitasking. Segment 7. Miasma masks and the plague. Ah, the infamous plague doctor mask with its eerie beak. Contrary to what you might think, it wasn't just creepy, it was functional. That beak was stuffed with herbs to fend off miasma or bad air, which they believed caused the plague. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. Segment 8. Child brides and royal marriages. If you thought modern arranged marriages were strict, medieval royalty took it to the extreme. Children as young as 6 were married off to secure alliances. King Richard II married a 6-year-old girl. These unions were political, often loveless, and sometimes downright disturbing. Segment 9. Grave reopenings. Family heirlooms weren't passed down, they were dug up. Medieval families would exhume loved ones to retrieve sentimental items like swords or jewelry. Sometimes they even rearranged the skeletons or added bizarre items, like dogs, to the grave. The line between life and death was blurry, to say the least. Segment 10. Cruentation. When corpses pointed fingers. Medieval forensics was creative. Suspected of murder? Touch the corpse. If it bled or reacted, you were guilty. Modern science suggests purge fluid might explain this phenomenon, but to medieval folk, it was proof of justice served, straight from the afterlife. Segment 11. Cat torment for fun. Cats weren't cute in the Middle Ages. They were considered evil. Linked to witchcraft and the devil, they were tortured and killed for fun. Ironically, this led to an explosion of rats, major carriers of plague. Karma works in mysterious ways. Think you could survive medieval England? Between boiling bodies, trial by corpse, and child marriages, it's a wonder anyone did. What's the creepiest thing you've learned today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more jaw-dropping tales from history, hit that subscribe button.